Welcome to the 60 Plus Podcast.
I'm Janet.
And I'm Joe.
Oh, good. You
I
remembered.
did remember.
There was a little hesitation there.
I
And
just thought I'd
wait, it
mix
starts
it
with
up
a
a little, change
J.
it up a little bit.
How are you?
I'm well, thank you.
Oh, you almost said good.
I'm not even close.
Not even close. Okay. Maybe another day.
How
I'll
are you,
catch-
Janet?
I am. Woohoo! Yeah.
Oh my gosh. The cavalcade of barnyard animal imitations continues.
At the request of our listeners, apparently.
Yes. Yes. It's nice that they're listening
Yeah.
and commenting.
For whatever reason, even if it is for my barnyard animal sounds.
Well,
But yeah,
somebody said you had a kind of Stevie Nicks thing going
I
too.
know. What's
That was-
that about?
That was
Climbed round and I turned around.
say Rhiannon.
Yeah.
Okay. You just need some scarves and I don't know.
Long curly hair.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
What are we talking about today, Janet?
Oh, I thought you'd never ask. We're doing a myth buster.
What myth are we busting, Janet?
But let me tell you, Joe, I will tell you. So we are busting the myth that we age gradually. Or, and to say it another way, we age linearly.
Or as the scientists say, epigenetically.
Okay, show off.
Oh, it's in the article.
I'm not even going to try to say that word.
Okay, it's not hard. It's genetically
it's
with epi in front of it.
Epigenetic
Okay.
is not the way we age, apparently, according to this research that we came across.
You came
But you
across
know
this
what?
article.
Yeah, but let me just ask you, do you feel like all of a sudden, like, do you see like more signs? Like, I feel like I'm falling apart. Actually, no, I do feel like all of a sudden I'm like, wait, where'd that come from? You know,
What's that?
I don't want to say it out loud.
Just point.
Right here, right
Okay.
here, right here. What's that?
All right.
No, there are some signs of aging that seem to be coming upon us. I notice you're looking at your hands.
Well, this is one thing, and it was a few years ago in a meeting, and my
Yeah.
hands were on a table, and I looked down at my hands, and I went, "Oh my gosh, whose hand is that?"
Yes, yes.
I mean, it.
And you're like the neck
I
thing.
try not to look.
Yeah, and it's like, oosh. So I wear a lot of turtlenecks now.
Does it help?
Makes me feel better.
We're coming into turtleneck season.
That's right. So it's perfect. That's what I
Mhm.
love about this type of weather. So yeah, I mean, there are these signs of aging that seem to kind of all of a sudden like come upon us: the wrinkles, the sagging skin, the muscle and joint pain, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I guess, according to this study, there's a reason why it feels like all of a sudden.
I've always
I
thought,
don't know. I wouldn't recommend that.
no, when you
Depends on what shoes you're wearing.
when we're not talking pickleball, when you're growing up,
Mm-hmm.
you have growth spurts,
Yes.
and I think at the other end of life, it happens similarly.
Well, again, that's what this study is implying. They did this research. It was out of Stanford, and they looked at like the molecular structure. It was a 2-year study, actually. Molecular structure, blood, skin, nose, mouth, gut. And what they found was that 81% of molecules, instead of transforming slowly, they transform significantly at age 44 and at age 60.
I think those were average numbers. They were,
Yeah.
generally speaking, it was in the mid 40s and the early 60s.
Yeah, exactly. So this was basically suggesting that we don't age gradually, but we have these, as you suggest, spurts.
So going back to childhood, when you grow in growth spurts,
Yeah.
I remember one of my daughters.
Mm-hmm.
We bought her.
Are you about to embarrass your daughter with this
She
story?
doesn't listen.
Okay.
We bought her new shoes for school,
Mm-hmm.
I think in July,
Yeah.
and school started the end of August. and she had to wear these special kind of shoes. She went to a school that had a uniform.
Okay.
And first day of school, she put the shoes on. And they didn't, like, she could not jam her feet into. They had grown. Her feet had grown that much in the course of like 6 weeks.
Yeah.
It's not a gradual thing. It just
Yeah.
I've always thought that it's why at a certain age kids become clumsy, because their bodies have grown to a
Mm.
size that they're not used to dealing with.
Or how about the voice? When the voice changes.
Oh, I used to have so much fun with that. I would make my voice crack on purpose. It made my mother laugh so much. Again, this wasn't discussed in the research that we did, but I think it's how human bodies work.
Right.
It's not a gradual thing.
Mm-hmm.
It happens in bursts.
Yeah. But here's the good news. So they're
Oh, there's good
saying,
news.
yeah, there's good news to this myth that we're busting here. Really, you can still age gracefully, and it's not really about your lifespan, it's about your health span.
Okay, so what does that mean?
So that means that we can really focus in on our lifestyle and things that we do to sort of mitigate this molecular change. Things that, for instance, as one example, to promote the reducing inflammation in our bodies, which is known to be a key factor in age-related disorders and chronic conditions. So, what are the things that reduce inflammation? Whether that's exercising regularly or staying away from foods that will cause inflammation, stress, trying to reduce our stress in our lives, and promoting other behaviors that are going to limit the damage, if you will, that's caused with this molecular transformation.
There were two things in particular that were a little distressing to me.
Oh, about what we can do?
Processing your ability to
Yes.
process caffeine
I
and
I
alcohol.
really didn't want to talk about that.
Well, these are two of the
Things
major
that we're supposed to
takeaways.
reduce. Yeah. Alcohol and caffeine, my two favorite things.
They're two of my favorite things.
Yeah, two of my favorite things.
Wow, we did barnyard animals and singing in the
Woo!
same episode.
Bonus day. So yeah, actually they said the alcohol intake should be reduced in your 40s.
That's when they saw the biggest drop off in your ability to process it.
Right. And then a lot of these conditions that if, are found in that molecular drop, if you will, or transformation in your 40s are just exasperated in your 60s. So we want to mitigate the effects of aging. We still, that still is a priority. But with the knowledge that you kind of had to up the ante, I guess, when you're in your 60s now, right? Because of this new burst, if you will. One of the things they mentioned is lifting weights and how important that is.
I remember when we had Megan in, and she talked about this, how you have to work harder to maintain that muscle mass
Right.
than you had to work when you were younger.
Right.
And Keith, the physical therapist, said the same thing.
Right. So that is definitely a must that we want to add that. Yes, reduce alcohol and caffeine, sure. Lift weights, drink more water was another thing that was mentioned. Again, these are all things that are going to reduce inflammation because the risk of kidney disease grows in that burst in the 60s. So drinking water is helpful. Obviously, less toxins, to tax your liver and your kidneys. Limit red meat or processed meat, which would be what?
Like salami,
Mm.
cold cuts,
No,
hot dogs,
no,
sausages,
definitely no, no.
all those delicious
Good.
things.
I'm good there.
Okay.
So check on that.
I actually don't eat that very much, but
More vegetables.
I eat a lot of vegetables.
Yeah, I love vegetables. Prioritize sleep. Now, we can prioritize sleep, but a lot of people do have trouble sleeping.
I've been waking up. This never happened to me before, and this has just happened, I would say,
Maybe it's because of this change.
well, maybe, but in the last few weeks, waking up between 4:30 and 4:45, just about every day.
Huh. The same time every day.
Same time. It's not because I have to go to the bathroom.
Well, maybe do you have like a neighbor who
Nope.
starts a motorcycle up at that time, or
No, no. Almost all the time I can get right back to sleep, but I wake up.
now when you wake up and you open your eyes, are you like what are you thinking about the same thing, or are you seeing something?
No, no.
Hmm.
It's so it's.
Interesting.
I think it is an age-related thing where I'm just and
Maybe.
it doesn't matter what time I go to bed either.
Huh.
So I try to get to bed.
Something must be waking you up at that time.
Yeah, I'm 64 years old.
Well, okay. So prioritize sleep, minimize stress. Yeah, let's do that. I mean, we talked a lot about stress and what you can do to reduce stress on this activities, right?
Hmm.
Walking, yoga, slowing down, just slowing
Especially
down.
when you're on the stairs.
And especially when you're in a car driving.
Hmm.
Um, just giving yourself more time and not like being stressed all the time. That's a big one for me.
Okay.
And antioxidant rich foods.
Things like blueberries.
I love blueberries.
I've mentioned this to you a couple of times. I'm very unhappy about the price of blueberries lately.
And I say,
Get frozen blueberries. They're not the same. I'm sorry, they're just not the same.
all right, but sometimes you have to adapt, Joe.
I had frozen blueberries
Why
this
keep on
morning
stressing out about the blueberry situation? You have mentioned it at least 10 times to me now.
because every time I go to the
That
supermarket,
seems to be stress inducing, and you should reduce your stress. So, in addition to
well, then it's the
eating the
supermarket's job.
blueberries
It's the
for the antioxidants, you must let go of the
I,
situation.
I understand there's a season to blueberries, and the price goes up and down with the season, but
Right.
it has more than doubled over the past month.
My.
$4 for a pint is now $4 for a half pint.
See, I'm not experiencing this because my blueberries have been frozen for a while and I just take out the bag and I don't even know what the price was. So there you go.
So you don't know if the price has gone up or not.
I don't know because I'm still eating the blueberries that I bought some time ago because they're frozen.
Uh-huh. They're not. It's not the same. I put them in my
I like
smoothie.
it. I like it.
I had them in a smoothie this morning.
Yep. And it's perfect for a smoothie,
Perfect.
frozen ones.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
on my oatmeal, no, not the same.
All right. Stop eating oatmeal then.
I don't know.
I don't think oatmeal is an antioxidant food.
It's delicious, and
Well, I'm just going to tell
it's
you
good for your
that.
cholesterol. And
Okay, that is one of the factors they talk about is cholesterol. And
Mhm.
that starts in your 40s.
mhm.
They talk about that. So I will tell you, antioxidants are substances that can prevent a delay cell damage by neutralizing free radicals. Okay? So what are the most powerful antioxidants? See if you can guess.
Fish, blueberries, green stuff.
Blueberries.
I said that.
Top 5.
Okay.
Top 5.
Are you
Go.
going to tell me?
Yeah, I'm going to tell you.
She has to
But I
scroll
thought
some
you were
more.
going to guess.
Fish high in oils.
Okay, so glutathione
I don't know what that is.
is called the master antioxidant. Now, that has beneficial effects many systems in the body, including the pulmonary system, can manage inflammation in the lungs, and also in the liver.
But what
It
is
can
it?
detoxify, supports healthy skin, the immune system, and reduce muscle fatigue.
But what
And-
is it?
I'm going to tell you. Spinach, red peppers, and asparagus.
Oh, I eat asparagus all the time. Which, by the way,
I don't want to talk about
has
it.
not gone up in price like blueberries.
Okay, I thought you were going to talk about what it does to you, asparagus. Okay.
Why? What does it
second
do to you,
one-
Janet?
The second one is coenzyme Q10. And it's an antioxidant naturally produced by the body, but is also obtained through dietary sources. Okay.
Such as,
I'm going to tell you, vitamin E
where do you get vitamin E?
through stuff like wheat germ, sunflower seeds,
Oh, okay.
almonds,
Almonds.
hazelnuts, and peanuts.
Okay.
And guess what I have with my heated frozen blueberries every morning?
Peanut butter.
Yep. scoop of peanut butter.
Put a scoop of peanut butter in my
Oh,
smoothie.
it's like a PB&J in my bowl without the bread. So good. Okay. Third one. You want to know? Oh, wait.
Well,
no.
what's the J?
Well, it's like jelly, blueberry jelly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So also coenzyme Q10, vitamin E, vitamin C, which
Okay.
we know how to get that, right?
Yep.
Which, by the way, not orange juice. Most orange juice is loaded with sugar and stuff.
Oh,
Unless
yeah.
you're freshly squeezing that orange juice, that is not the answer.
I actually stopped buying orange juice quite a while ago.
Well, I'm glad to hear that.
The only time I drink orange juice is when I'm having mimosas now.
So red peppers, oranges, kiwi,
Kiwi's very good.
green peppers,
Mm-hmm.
and broccoli. Selenium. It is required for human health. There are 24 different types of selenium. They're proteins. Selenoproteins. Okay. And you get them in high amounts through Brazil nuts.
Brazil nuts are really hard to crack open.
Aren't they?
They really are.
Tuna, halibut, sardines, and ham.
Ooh, ham. I love ham.
I'm not that big of a ham. Okay, so how many antioxidants should we be getting per day? They say in a 2,500 calorie diet should be 11.5 millimoles Trialox equivalent.
Okay, you wouldn't let me explain the pickleball rules, and you're talking about millimoles.
Okay, here we go. Wait. I have it. The best antioxidant foods. Dark chocolate.
Except it's got lead in it now.
Woohoo! Well, not all of them,
Okay.
because they have polyphenol, they have flavonoids, and it helps to manage type 2 diabetes. And there's 15 millimoles of antioxidants in 3.5 ounces. That's a lot, because if they say you should have a total of 11.5, there you go. You're done. Is that right?
That's all you need to eat all day. It's,
Yeah,
it's
that's
like a
right.
square
That's
of
my
dark
diet.
chocolate.
That's my diet. I love this.
Dark chocolate and frozen blueberries.
Pecans, vitamin E,
Just shouting out foods now.
blueberries.
We know blueberries, but they're too expensive.
Strawberries, artichokes.
I was going to say artichokes.
Well, you didn't though.
I love artichokes.
Yeah. So there you go. If you
Okay.
just every day eat dark chocolate, which I do, blueberries, which I do, not artichoke. Artichokes.
Artichokes are delicious.
Well, I don't eat them every day. Peanut butter, I do.
Okay.
I think I'm in good shape.
All right.
Now,
Well, that was informative.
Except for the caffeine and the
Alcohol.
that other stuff.
If I eat more artichokes and blueberries, can I have more alcohol and
Yes,
caffeine?
Absolutely.
Okay.
And we know from the Blue Zone data that you should have at least one glass of red wine a day with friends.
Okay. Can they make wine out of blueberries?
Blueberry wine? I think there's blueberry liqueur.
Well,
I don't
that's
know.
different.
Yeah, that has a lot of sugar in it and stuff. You don't want to do that.
Okay.
You don't want to do that, Joe.
I was trying to kill two birds with one stone here.
Well, I don't think you should be killing any birds.
What about chickens?
Bark,
Oh, no. All right. So all of these findings
Yes.
have several potential implications that
Which are?
it can lead to personalized medicine. So
Oh,
health strategies can be tailored around specific age groups to combat these health implications.
okay.
Disease prevention. So understanding the molecular changes and the increased risk of disease can lead to more effective preventative measures. So
Okay.
by knowing,
Which is what we just talked about.
yes, but even more so,
Okay.
and lifestyle interventions. So
Yes.
we talked about that. Increasing exercises, decreasing alcohol consumption.
Mm.
I'm going to put an asterisk after that one. And they might be beneficial.
Yeah.
We should mention that this study, I think you mentioned it came from Stanford Medicine, but it was published in Nature Aging on August 14th, 2024. So if we'll put it in the show notes,
Mm-hmm.
the study,
And the article was in
National Geographic,
National Geographic.
which
Yeah.
you need to be a subscriber to National Geographic to see the article that you saw that led us to all of this.
Yes.
There are other articles that we'll put in the show notes, and you can read up on it yourself.
Yeah. And I think it might be important to say, okay, where am I in this process? And, we're not all created equally. And this is a finding that is, generally speaking, we all have different lifestyles. But the idea here is that can we create these behaviors that will help increase our health span rather than just worried about our lifespan?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And so much of like what you can do to combat these negative changes, we talk about all the time here.
Mm-hmm. True.
We talk about exercise. We talk about
Diet.
We talk about the social aspects of being around other people.
Right.
And,
We
and
talked about the blue zones,
socializing. Yes.
reducing stress. I think we probably have a podcast dedicated to each one of these recommended behaviors.
Next episode will be all blueberries all the time.
Yay, blueberries. We're going to start to take up a collection for you, Joe, so you can continue to have your fresh blueberries.
We'll have a GoFundMe for Joe's blueberry
habit.
Well, the thing is,
oh God, here we go. Don't want to hear it again.
I would go through half a pint of blueberries in like 5 minutes.
Yeah, that's good. So you can do that in frozen form too,
Well, I do in my smoothies.
Oh God. All right. Okay. We're not going to go over this again. It's like we're not going to talk about the rules of pickleball either.
There's 3 components to the score. There's the opponent, there's the serving score, and whether you're the first or the second. Now, you can't be in the non-volley zone.
Please.
And hit the ball before it bounces.
Help me. I'm going to start making more barn animal noises if you don't stop. Okay. So, was this worthwhile?
Well, I think...
What did we learn?
We learned that...
We really do have to pay attention to what we do at this point in time.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, I mean, more so than what we thought before, because we thought it's okay, slow but sure. But now it's like, whoosh.
Yeah, so that idea that you're aging linearly seems to be gone.
Right. Which if I'm not
which was the conventional
slowly,
thinking.
I can't battle it slowly either. You have to get on it. But the other thing to note too is that feeling that all of a sudden type of thing. It's like there's some science behind that, and that we're kind of all in this together, and we're all going to experience these big changes now that we're in our 60s.
Yes. And put the asterisk after the reduce alcohol consumption. I've already reduced my caffeine consumption. I used to drink 3 or 4 cups of coffee a day.
Yeah.
And I would say I was probably my late 40s, early 50s when I started reducing it. Now I'm down to 1 cup a day, and that does the trick.
I don't even know what it would feel like to be without caffeine in the morning.
I know what it would feel like. No, I do know what it would feel like. I had a dental procedure a few weeks ago, and I had to be off coffee for a couple of days, and I was groggy.
Did you have a headache?
Oh, I did get the headache.
Yeah.
Yep.
But that just goes to show you, though, right? That
It's
your
an
body.
addiction. It's like withdrawal.
Right.
So, but I think 1 cup a day is fine.
Yeah, just like 1 glass of wine is fine.
Sure.
Not gonna.
Can you save them up? Like if you don't have a glass of wine today, can you have 2 glasses tomorrow?
You can do whatever you want to.
That's what I'm going to
That's
do.
another beauty about being this age. I think maybe we should have an episode just on that. What can I do now that I'm in my 60s?
Well, we know what you can't do when you're in your 60s. All right. Yeah, we should do that.
Yeah.
Myth busted by Stanford Medicine.
Thank you, Stanford Medicine.
I don't know. Was that sincere? Are you really thanking them?
Why do you keep on every episode lately? You'd be like, that didn't sound sincere.
Because it didn't. Are you really thanking?
Are you gonna have like a sincere meter on everything that I say? What was that?
That was
No,
the sincere meter.
okay. Well, it's a good thing your arm can still move that way.
This one can't. All right. So myth busted.
Kind
And
of, sort of. So get out there, be active, eat lots of antioxidants, keep your stress down and your inflammation down, cortisol levels down,
get all your micromoles.
reduce your alcohol and caffeine intake. Don't worry about this epigenetic theory.
And write a letter to your nearest grocery store protesting the price of fresh blueberries.
That's right.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. And if you want to start a GoFundMe site for blueberries, we will.
GoFundMe/Joe needs his blueberries. That's it for this episode of the 60 Plus podcast. I'm Joe.
I'm Janet. Bye.